there's been rumors flying around, wild rumors flying around this week about a possible or a potential future fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao. Sounds like a crazy fight, innit? A guy as big as Saul Canelo Alvarez fighting Pacquiao. Well, Alvarez has come out this week and said it's just rumors. There's been no talk between the two camps. And he's got Erislandy Lara to contend with anyway. And that is by far, that's far from a foregone conclusion. So it's definitely just wild speculation at the moment. But it was triggered off by Oscar De La Hoya going to meet with Bob Arum. Because for those of you who don't know, Oscar De La Hoya actually drove up to Bob Arum's house recently and buried the hatchet, made peace and what have you. So it opens the door to future collaborations between Golden Boy and Top Rank, possibly, because we know that Richard Schaefer still is not on board with the whole idea of doing business with Bob Arum. But I guess maybe if De La Hoya handled a promotion and did it with Bob Arum and then he worked with Schaefer for other promotions, I don't know exactly how it would work, whether it would cause conflict, whether Schaefer would want to leave if De La Hoya decides to work with Arum. I don't know. I hope that Schaefer can see that it makes business sense. I hope that Schaefer actually cares about boxing fans enough to let De La Hoya, or not necessarily let De La Hoya, because it seems like De La Hoya has more power in the company than Schaefer. He's the majority shareholder. So I hope he doesn't leave the company just because De La Hoya decides to work with Bob Arum, because De La Hoya working with Bob Arum is a win-win situation for boxing fans at the end of the day, because we want to see the top guys at Top Rank going up against the top guys at Golden Boy. So at the moment, it's just a rumor, the whole Pacquiao-Alvarez situation. I'd be amazed if Pacquiao took that fight, considering the size difference. Pacquiao's a small guy, a short guy. Alvarez is around 5'8", 5'9". Pacquiao's like 5'6", something like that. The natural size difference is massive. I would actually take Alvarez at the moment to win that fight. Definitely, in fact, I'd take him to win that fight. But you never know. You'd have to give Manny Pacquiao maximum credit if he actually stepped up and fought Canelo. That would be crazy. And Canelo definitely didn't dismiss the idea altogether. He said, well, boxing is about fighting the best, and Manny Pacquiao is one of the best, so it is what it is. So he's not dismissing fighting Pacquiao. You know, maybe if they could make a catch weight again, like they did with the Mayweather fight, you might see Pacquiao against Alvarez. I doubt it, though, because Alvarez is just so big. Even here against Erislandy Lara, I don't think it's at 154, is it? I believe it's at 155 or 156. So he's a big boy, man. I'm not sure he really can make 154 or 152 for too much longer. So fight will probably never happen. But if it does, of course, we'll all be watching. You know, from the Pacquiao haters to the Pactars to just the boxing fans, everyone will be watching if that fight happens. Trust. Because it will just be intriguing to see what the hell takes place in that ring. So drop your comments below, man. Let me know how you feel about a potential fight between Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez. How do you think it would go? And how do you feel about the situation with Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, and Richard Schaefer? How do you feel about that whole situation? One thing I will say as well in closing is that, you know, De La Hoya is obviously straight out of rehab, and he's been doing a lot of talks before the fight the other weekend with Mayweather and Maidana. He was talking a lot about his company and this, that, and the other. And someone commented in my Facebook group. And if you ain't in my Facebook boxing group, you need to be, because the group is growing rapidly. It's got a lot of great members in there. So make sure you join my Facebook boxing group. But someone was commenting in there and they were saying that De La Hoya just has this forced plastic smile at the moment. Like, his demeanor seems positive. I mean, he's trying to project a positive demeanor, but it seems forced. And he's probably high as a kite on medication. And I couldn't agree more. I think De La Hoya no doubt is high as a kite on medication. And from people who I've spoken to who have been on that type of medication, SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, antidepressant drugs, from people that I've spoken to that have been on them kind of drugs, they say that that you feel happy, but inside you know you're not happy. I don't know, some weird shit. You know, but to me, De La Hoya's giving off that type of vibe. And obviously, I hope he gets better for the sake of his company and what they can do for boxing. I hope he gets better. But I don't know, man. I don't know. De La Hoya, to me, looked like he had a plastic smile. He's saying all the right words. You can just tell he's reciting stuff that his counselor told him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope it works out for the best, but I'm not too convinced, to be honest with you, by Oscar De La Hoya at this juncture. But as I said, man, I hope he holds up long enough to give us some... that sounds selfish, innit? But I hope he holds up long enough to give us some good fights between Golden Boy and Top Rank. It is what it is. Drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel about everything I talked about in this video. This is Hatman. I'm out.